Kuma Uye, Mwe Relay Cillianette Simone. Good afternoon. How are you all? My name is Cillianette Simone. I am so honored to be standing in front of you all and to be sharing space with Chrissy's family. It's just, I always, whenever these events, it's just unfortunate that we always have to meet under these circumstances, but I'm still so happy to see so many faces here today. And I just wanted to just give a little prayer for healing to the families and to those who knew Chrissy so well. I pray for healing justice for the community members that continue to suffer under the colonial system and this perpetuated suffering. And it's just so frustrating for me to just have to be standing here, and I feel like a lot of us as well, like repeat after repeat, this can't keep going on, and justice needs to be served and transformative justice as well. So that's my prayer today. And I want to introduce you all to the person that worked so tirelessly putting this together, Nikki. Nikki was such a great friend to Chrissy.
Thank you everyone for being here. I'm going to have to put my glasses on. Just give me a minute. I had to write my speech today, so please bear with me. Thank you all for coming today. And our hearts are with those who wanted to attend but couldn't. I know they are sending us their love. I want to thank everyone who has contributed to this event. Special thanks go to Bobby, Nathalie, Shane, Cillianette, and Sia, as well as Grandma Elder Veronica. I really want to acknowledge the community as a whole for coming together today to honor our friend. The sheer numbers of people here today and the beautiful setup makes my heart full. It's a testament to how much Chrissy meant to us all, so thank you. I see many people that I know personally who have come to support me and to honor Chrissy, and some of you I'm meeting for the first time, but I've known your name because she talked a lot about you. She was the common denominator between all of us. She brought all of us together. Today is a day to celebrate and to reminisce and to talk about all the amazing ways that Chrissy has contributed to our community, to our society, and to humanity. Today, this space is for family and friends and community to come together with love and to pay our respects. We may not all know each other, and maybe we haven't always seen eye to eye with each other, but today this space will be a place for sharing the common bond of love and respect that we have for Chrissy and compassion we have for all of our friends and family members who live without homes. When we march today, that will be the place for loud voices and politics and passionate rants and spirited debate. But for now, this space should be filled with love and well wishes for her and her family. There will be time for speeches before and after the walk, so I encourage those who would like to speak but may need time to muster up the courage. Please let the MCs know and they will put you on the speakers list. I myself had to write my words down because I've been overwhelmed at the passing of my friend, and I find it hard to put into words what she means to me. But here goes. My name is Nikki, and Chrissy is my friend. I have an organization called the Backpack Project, and at the time I met Chrissy, I've been collecting donations of mutual aid for unhoused community members throughout the GBRD for 10 years. 10 years I've been making hundreds of backpacks and distributing them to my friends and family who are unhoused in my community. 10 years, and I felt like I was throwing band-aids out to gunshot wounds from a moving car. 10 years, and I was tired, and I was about to give up my project and let someone else take over because I felt I wasn't really making any change. And then I met Chrissy. We met in 2017 after Super Intense City. She was holding a pop-up prayer vigil and roaming protest camp throughout the city. She was in Colwood at the time. It was December, and there was snow on the ground. It was freezing cold morning. my husband and I spotted the tents and immediately ran to get coffee, hot chocolate, and donuts. After introducing myself, I explained that I had a warehouse full of donations I could supply them with, so we took my truck, and Chrissy and Tracy and I loaded up a pickup truck full of supplies to take back to camp. The whole time, Chrissy was talking a mile a minute, but she was saying everything I had been thinking and advocating for the last 10 years. She talked about creating change within the systems, changing the minds of government, changing policies, and changing people's minds about homelessness. I had found my soul sister. She had me. I knew this person was the real deal. We loaded the camp up with everything I had, and when I dropped them off, I asked her if there was something I could do for her. She said, "If you could get us a pound of hamburger, some onions, and macaroni, I can make a warm meal for the camp." I knew she was the real deal then, because I know the value of a pound of hamburger and an onion and a sack of potatoes when you have many mouths to feed. She was a mama bear, a survivor, a nurturer, and a compassionate warrior. She was a light worker, and she knew what that meant when I said that to her. I ended up supplying the camp with as much propane and food as I could as they moved around. I followed and supported her while they were chased throughout the city. We used my truck to move the camp around, and I did my best to bring food and water to camp while Chrissy was getting people to medical appointments and to court, and taking care of the camp, and meeting with politicians, and meeting with business people, speaking at council meetings, advocating, and kicking ass. I remember when the city cleared out Camp Nemegans at Regina Park. Chrissy was the last to leave. She was always the last to leave. The police brought in the mobile command center, and as we were standing outside the gates, they were flying drones above us to try and figure out what we were going to do next. Imagine that. They were flying huge military drones above us to see what 30 homeless people were going to do. After a few failed attempts at different spots and one epic protest march down Blanchard Street,
Yes.
we ended up at Goldstream Park. And as soon as we landed, the powers that be, completely freaked out, shut the entire campground down. Can you imagine that? The province shut down 159 campground sites because 20 homeless people wanted to take refuge there. It was ridiculous, but we made it home there for 2 weeks, and the day we moved, Chrissy was the last to leave. She was with me in my car, and everyone was looking for her. When the cops saw she was in my car, they followed us, trying to figure out where we were going next. But because they were following us, this gave the moving van a head start, so Chrissy and I took them on a wild goose chase. We went on the highway, and then off the highway, and then back on. We went to Theodis Lake parking lot, and they were right behind us. So we did a big circle in the parking lot. We passed the cop car in the parking lot as we were circling him, gave him a big wave, laughing our heads off. Needless to say, the moving truck landed safely at the next location. We had fun together. We laughed, we planned, we talked about the future and how one day we would have a kitchen party in an actual kitchen. Chrissy was the first one to teach me how to administer a Narcan shot. She taught me about safe supply and how to talk to government officials. She taught me about Indigenous culture, about protocols and elders and sacred fires. She did this without judgment. She did it with kindness and patience. She taught me the power of love and the power of community. When I would come to her so frustrated about what was happening, she would always say, "I think if we have a conversation about..." You see, she was always willing to have conversations to try and create change. Her message never wavered. Everyone deserves housing. Housing is a human right. Chrissy is my friend. She gives me strength to continue to advocate. She gives me courage to speak truth to power, and she gives me hope. And I learned through her that only together as a community can we create change. We can't do it alone. It takes a village. It's hard to process her loss and her transition to the next world. I've only allowed myself small moments to grieve, but I am comforted by the fact that I really feel like she is still here. Energetically, she still feels here. And I know she's here today. I hope that all of you can find comfort in knowing that she is here with us now. She's here with us always. This feather I hold in my hand, I found on a day that I was talking to my mom on the phone. She was giving me her condolences of losing my friend Chrissy. And I got off the phone, I was walking through the forest with my dog, and I took 5 steps, and I looked down, and right at my feet was this feather, and I knew it was her. I cherish this feather. Now I would like to read a poem that I reach for when someone I love transitions to the next world. This poem is from Henry Scott Holland, and it's called Death is Nothing at All. Death is nothing at all. It does not count. I have only slipped away into the next room. Nothing has happened. Everything remains exactly as it was. I am I, and you are you, and the old life that we lived so fondly together is untouched, unchanged. Whatever we were to each other, that we still are. Call me by my old familiar name. Speak of me in the easy way which you always used to. Put no difference into your tone. Wear no forced air of solemnity or sorrow. Laugh as we always have laughed at the little jokes we enjoyed together. Play, smile, think of me, pray for me. Let my name be ever the household word that it always was. Let it be spoken without an effort, without the ghost of a shadow upon it. Life means all that it was ever meant. It is the same as it ever was. There is absolute and unbroken continuity. What is death but a negligible accident? Why should I be out of mind because I'm out of sight? I am but here, waiting for you, for an interval, somewhere, very near, just around the corner. All is well. All is well. Nothing is hurt, nothing is lost. One brief moment, and all will be as it was before. And how we shall laugh at the trouble of parting when we meet again. Thank you.